Hello, gamers! Welcome back to the Warframe Iron Man, and last time we went ahead and tackled Profit Taker, coming out on top and being victorious. This week, we're gonna be getting Caliban. Not only are we gonna be getting Caliban, just because it's one of the random tasks that we have to do, we're also gonna be upgrading our Railjack, because next week, well, at the time you're watching this, tomorrow is the next Warframe update, Jade Shadow's Constellation. And there do be Railjack content, so we need to have our Railjack up to snuff. But before we get into all that, you know what time it is. It's time to get a new Warframe and to talk about him, so let's pull up the wheel and see who we're cooking with. Alright, so the past 2 weeks, we've been hitting the lower end of characters. Maybe this week, we'll get on the higher end of better characters, right? Let's just go. Come on, baby. Give me something good. That's pretty good. I'm not much of a knower on Lavos, so this is going to be pretty interesting. Let's just go ahead and get him leveled though, and we'll be right back to talk about him. Alrighty, we are here in the simulacrum, and we're going to show off what Lavos can do. Here is the showcase build, and you'll notice it's just rolling guard. And why is that? Well, we don't need flow, because Lavos has no energy. That's right, he is a bit of a special creature. So let's take this time now to explain that. So he has no energy. And if he has no energy, how does he cast abilities? Well, his abilities are on a cooldown. Ooh, we'll see that a bit later, but for now, just know that's how that is going to function. Also, in his stats, if we were to build efficiency, normally efficiency makes it to where when you have higher efficiency, your abilities cost less. But because he has no energy cost requirements, it actually grants him more cooldown reduction from one of his abilities. So keep that in mind. And if we were to build duration on him, you can see that we have this status duration stat. And if we get duration, it also makes our statuses last for even longer. So that's pretty gas, but let's move on to what he can do, shall we? The first part of his passive is that if he picks up a energy or universal orb, you can see he gets a stack of valence block at the top. Now what this is going to do is it's actually going to give us status immunity for that amount of time. Status immunity is very helpful, so that's already gas. But the second part of his passive is if we hold down one of our ability buttons, you can see that we build up a little meter at the bottom. And this just allows us to combine elements, and whatever element we combine is going to get applied to whatever ability we use. So we have Viral prepped up. Let's go ahead and use one of his abilities, shall we? Alright, so Lavos' first ability is going to be Ophidian Bite. What this is going to do is we're just going to whip out snakes in front of us. Does a little bit of toxin damage, and as you can see from his passive, it put a little viral on them as well. But this ability is not only damage, but it can also heal us per enemy hit. Our second ability is going to be Vile Rush. If we cast this, we're just going to go in a straight line. This ability is just pretty good movement, and it also spreads ice and whatever element we have imbued onto it from our passive. Up next is Transmutation Probe. Now let's use our abilities first, just to get them on cooldown. If we send this out into the enemies, it's going to shock them, and it's going to reduce our cooldowns. But what it can also do is, you see how there's energy orbs on the ground here? If we were to throw our Transmutation Orb over them, it's going to turn them into universal orbs. These give you both health and energy when you pick them up, and it's pretty good. And then our final ability is going to be Catalyze, and this is going to send out a drone that's going to just do an AoE fire barrage, plus whatever damage we have imbued onto it. One thing I also forgot to mention about Catalyze, actually, is that the more elements you have applied to enemies, the more damage it does. So we really want to just have as much shit going on as possible. And then when we're ready, just go ahead and cast that, and it's going to do big damage. Now, just to go over what elements the abilities give, the first one's going to give you Toxin, the second one's going to give you Cold, the third one's going to give you Electricity, and the final one's going to give you Heat. And you can combine those into any element that you need, and it's pretty gas. And that's what Lavos can do. The objective of what you're trying to accomplish on him is to spread status effects with your abilities, get them going. If you have cooldowns, use your Transmutation Probe, and then you do a big batch of damage with your 4. Here's the build we have on Lavos, and now you'll notice there's a new augment on here that we have to talk about. Valence Formation. This is going to give us an extra elemental damage bonus, depending on what element we apply to our weapons from our passive. It's a 200% bonus with guaranteed status for 20 seconds. Now let's come in here and summon a couple of enemies. You know, one problem with the glaive is that it isn't an innate electricity weapon like the Zorus, which, if we had influence, would be a big deal. But thanks to this augment, if we come over here and we, hit them with our snakes, now we have 200% electricity. And would you look at that? Guaranteed electricity procs. But not only could we do guaranteed electricity procs, we could do something more beneficial, such as guaranteed viral on our weapons. And this is pretty huge utility that Lavos has. It makes him an amazing weapons platform, on top of the status damage that he's doing from his kit. Going back to the build, though, we have on a little bit of range, so that our transmutation probe can hit more things, as well as our catalyze and everything in our kit, pretty much. Natural talent, because some of his ability cast times are pretty slow, and we don't want to be stuck in them. We have the Augment, and then we have Umbral Intensify, just for a bit of extra strength. And then we're on Holster Amp, just because if we swap our weapons, we're getting a little bit of extra damage. Aegis for survivability, and Fury for damage, and he's going to be pretty good. But, well, we're not going to be using him because he's Lavos today. No, we're going to be using him because he just might be one of the best characters to use in Railjack. Oh my god, we got so lucky this week. And, let's just go hop into one of the missions we have to do, and I'll explain why. Okay, so we're gonna hop into Railjack because we need to for Caliban, but I just needed to show this first. We have the Veil and all of the Grineer nodes unlocked, and this is very important. You see that sentient symbol on the this NSU grid, the NSU grid? That means that there is a sentient incursion here, and we gotta go deal with that. So let's just hop in. So one of the things that can be very annoying in Railjack, and it's, part of the reason I've just been shooting enemies with my lasers this entire time instead of using my abilities, is that your Railjack's energy pool is tied directly to your Warframe. But Tormandee, Lavos doesn't have energy, you say. And that's right. We could go ahead and freely use our abilities. This one's OP, by the way, whatever we have on our second ability. But, yes, Lavos just allows us to trivialize these Grineer skirmish missions. And honestly, thank God, these have been the bane of my existence every time we hop in a Railjack. So I'm thankful that, our life is saved. But, this first part is, we are playing Railjack. You guys have seen it a million times. I don't want to bore you to death. Let's, one more time, let me show you the greatness of Lavos here. We can use our ability and then come down here. And we can just blow these ships out of the sky. We don't even have to go inside or weaken them. We can just do this now. Oh, it's so fucking free. But, I'll be back once we get to the sentient threat gamers, because that's the real meat and bones of this Caliban farm.
12 seconds later.
Okay, well, 2 seconds later, I got a huge drop that we need to talk about now. Conic Nozzle. Increased Railjack speed. We don't have to have any sort of conditions for this. It's just Railjack speed. Kind of like the Archwing speed mod that we farmed out. Oh my goodness, what a colossal W. We are already off to a great start in our Railjack shenanigans. Anyway, this time I'm actually gonna be right back when we're at the Sentient Murex. Alrighty, after a job well done, we are now here to investigate the anomaly. So the sentient incursions, they have a little Murex here for us to go investigate. Let's slingshot onto it, shall we? And this is all we're going to be doing, is running through these Railjack missions until we can go on board this ship. And boom! Oh, jeez. Now, what are we doing here? We're doing an exterminate mission. Yeah, we have to kill 20 sentients. They're weak to radiation. So let's get radiation on our weapon, shall we? Oh, hold on. I'm getting Omega diffed by this singular one. We gotta break that. It's shielding them, and now they die. Good. This tile set is so cool. Unfortunately, it was only used here. Ooh. See this symbolist here? These enemies are really gas to take note of because they are the only sentient enemy that can drop Shedu parts, which is a sentient arm cannon. And if we could pick that up this week, that would be cool. I'm not too worried about getting it this week, though. We'll have another chance later on when we do Archon hunts to get it. But take note of that while we're running this this exterminate here. That we have the chance to complete that weapon. That would be pretty cool. It only drops from them, I'm pretty sure. So we gotta be on the lookout. Hope and pray every time that when we kill one, it might bless us. Alright, but for our completion of the exterminate objective on this ship, we get an anomaly shard. And what these anomaly shards do is that, well, we can use them with Little Duck to get an ephemera and a bunch of captiricines, which that's the last of my worries, because they are used to craft both Caliban and his signature weapon, the Venado. So we have to get a whole bunch of these. I believe it's like 14 for Caliban and the Venado. Well, I got 14 runs of Railjack. I will see you in a bit. Montage time for all of the highlights. Hiya! Oh, got our anomaly shard, but what's that there? Is that a Shedu piece? Ooh. But one down, with 2, 3 more to go? I don't remember. All right, the Shedu chassis. Ooh. That's pretty good. We also got a rush repair drone, which is like a 0.5% drop chance from completing these missions. So, I mean, that's probably more exciting than the Shedu, right? Not really, but it's pretty cool, though. Hey, the Shedu receiver. All right, we didn't have this. Cool, I didn't remember. Sweet, we are missing one piece, the handle. And then we're done with the Shedu. Alright, now that we're done with all of the Railjack Anomaly Shard shenanigans, I just wanted to show this off real quick. Let's take a look at our uranium and how we've upgraded it since starting this grind. I'll come in here, and we've updated to Mark 3s for the most part. With the exception of our plating, we actually didn't manage to get a good Mark 3 for our plating. And our reactor, well, it's actually kind of a little pick. Anyway, let's take a look. Got the shield array at Mark 3. This Zekti shield array is what I wanted to put on. We're trading out a little bit of our shields for a faster recharge rate and a way shorter recharge delay. That's just huge. So let's put that on. And we're at max components up here because they only give you 8, which means you have 1 free slot. It is sickening, the greed out here. Oh my mamma mia. But we have our engines. I think these are just the base tier 3. We didn't get much of a increase there either. Our Vitar plating, Mark 2. We just got a high roll of this on Mark 2, honestly, so it's nice and balanced, and that's the way I like it. But our engine, I gotta talk about this, or our reactor, rather. We have all these other ones, and they're pretty cool. We can get, more shields, and, like, there's fucking extra passives here, but let me just show you guys something. With Mark 2s, they get really high singular stats. So our Vitar gives us 80% extra range. That, with our Shatterburst that we were using, that, like, AoE explosion thing, mwah! Chef's kiss, it's so good. We go to our weapons, we got a Photor, a better one for our primary fire, whatever this secondary gun that we can't use this because our crewmates, they don't exist. And then our ordnance, which I just don't care for because we don't even use these now. But let's take a look at these Photor Mark 3s. They just have high heat damage. Really, really cool because it seems like they're just like a Lich variant of the Photor with that heat damage. It's quite nice. I could go in here and sort out more Zektis, see if we can get a higher damage because we can do Valence Fusion, but I'll do that as time goes on. Probably next week. Into the upgrades, though. We've swapped out a few things. We got our Conic Nozzle, our Crimson Fugue for extra turret damage if we need it, which isn't max level, which credits are fluctuating, alright? We might go get more after this, I'm just saying. But the whole thing with this is that it's mostly just turret damage stuff. And then we've got Revo Reducer, because in case of emergency, I can whip this out and repair my ship without bankrupting my resources. And Conic Nozzle for speed, because Go Faster is awesome. There's a couple of mods I don't have yet, so I'm keeping these slots open, but I did also form of this. So I'd like to put maybe like 2 more on. Just have another V here and then our aura slot. And I think we'd be good. Moving on to the battle mods, though. Blackout Pulse, that's that EMP we can shoot to stun the ships. Very good. Shatter Burst, very good. Seeker Volley, this is very good. But I just use Shatter Burst. It's good enough. But when that's on cooldown, Seeker Volley is awesome. And then our tactical, I've got Fire Suppression. This is pretty nice because we can just remotely fix a fire without having to go over to it. And that's notable because if a fire is in our ship, then our artillery wind-up time is slower, and that's annoying. And then we also can stall hull breaches for 45 seconds. And, I think this Railjack is going to be good enough to tackle what is to come next week. But before we get into the next segment, which is we have to go do Narmer Bounties now for Caliban's actual components, I'm going to do a little bit of Profit Taker, because I need credits.
12 seconds later.
Hey guys, look, we got Magma Chamber. It's heat and status on the Archon. I was doing some Profit Taker. We doubled our credits. It's pretty sick. Yep, that's what we got in this inventory. Yep, Magma Chamber. Bloodshed Sigil. This is a 3% chance. Third run. Too easy. Things have never been better. Let's go ahead, and yes, I'm on Volt now because we are on Cetus. Oh boy. Time for some Narmer Bounties. Now, you can do these at either Fortuna or Cetus. I'm opting to do Cetus because me and Kanzu, we go way back. But let's go in here and look at the bounties. And come down here, we have access to the Narmer Bounties. Now, there's 3 sets of them that all drop different things. As you can see, we have some new mods here with the Anguish, Hatred, and Contempt. I'll explain those as we get them. We have Caliban's Neuroptics, and we have Archon weapons. Now, you remember the New War, we fought a couple of them, but we haven't quite truly defeated all 3 yet. We'll get to that another time. But we can go ahead and farm up their weapons while we're at it, trying to knock out Caliban. And I think we will. On top of all these new items, though, we have Narmer Isoplasts, and these are another resource that we need to craft not only Caliban, but the Archon weapons as well. So, this is our first set. This is all the stuff we can get. Let's go ahead and get to grinding, gamers, and hopefully this doesn't treat me so bad. You wouldn't do me dirty, right, Kanzu? Ooh! First run, Near's Anguish. This is a pretty sick slam weapon mod. Not because it's giving parkour velocity and aim glide, which, parkour velocity, we fuck with heavy around here. But increases slam damage from slam attack by 150%. That's the set bonus, so the more of this set we have, the higher that goes. This Near's Anguish, though, on a character like Wukong, where we can just slap it on for free because he's ridiculous. Very good. Ooh, Caliban Neuroptics. That's pretty sick. I'm gonna keep doing these. Get some Narmer Isoplast, and we gotta get the gold and the silver mod. Ooh, Amar's Hatred. This is armor and ability strength, and a teleport on heavy attack. Cool. Oh, the Karudo. We have been in the background doing this for so long, killing thumpers. That's how I got a lot of my resources from here. But it finally happened. We got this shit to drop. It got buffed in Shadowgrapher even, and it still felt rare as shit. But that is a big bucket list item, a powerful pickup to get used, leveled, and thrown away. Hey, we got the melee from here. Is this the Trident? Yeah, Boreal's Trident. Woohoo! We just need the rare mod and we're good. Alright, literally the last run for this cycle of these bounties. Boreal's Contempt. Goes on polearms. Cool. Anyway. Alright, first run of this new set of bounties. We got Nearest Contempt. This is the rare mod for whips. We got the whip. That's pretty sick. We also got Near's Anguish, or is it Amar's Anguish? I don't remember which is the new one. But Boreal's Hatred. This is shield capacity and ability efficiency. Yeah, we made out like a bandit in this one run. I don't know why. Maybe it was just feeling like it was time to bless me. But we take that. Gotta get the Caliban piece, and then shit, we done with this bounty. Alright, just killed a Thumper Doma. Kinetic Diversion converts health damage to energy. This is just Rage for Archwings, and it's, woohoo!
A few hours later.
Alright, it took 6,000 years, but we got Caliban systems, and yes, we got 2 in the same run. Of course we did. Now all that's left is the final set of bounties to get the chassis and all the stuff that is available there. Alright, started the final tier of bounties. We've got Nira's Hatred, health and ability duration. Pretty good. We also got Boreal's Anguish. Woohoo! The Neferi Blueprint. Ooh. Now we just need Caliban chassis, of course, and the mod, and we're done. Amar's Contempt. We've gotten everything except the Caliban chassis from this roll.
One eternity later.
Alright, I had to go the entire bounty cycle in order to get it, but the Caliban chassis. 47 Narmer Ice Blast, one sitting. We won't have to worry about those for a while. Oh, my god, am I glad to be done. Hespizem? No. No. Oh, thank god, that was it. Alright, the systems are good, the helmet doesn't need anything crazy, we just have to go get Hespizem. Jesus. 12 Orkin cells? He takes more than the Prime! Dog. Well, that's gonna do it for this week's episode of the Warframe Iron Man. If you liked this one, leave a like. If you disliked it, you could do that too. I upload every Tuesday at 1 p.m. PST. I stream every Wednesday and Friday. Otherwise, gamers, starting tomorrow, it's gonna be Jade Shadow's Constellation time. Gonna be a lot of fun. And, well, our Railjack's ready now. Thank y'all for watching. Mwah! I have to go mine now.